What's up, tribe? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? This is going to be my review of the Queen Supreme Court for this week with guest host, guest judge, Shekinah Joe. First of all, let me say this. I knew Shekinah was coming back. I knew after that whole situation the first time and all of the criticism and then the situation between her and Kaya and Michelle Brown with the confrontation and everything. I knew she was going to come back. I didn't know when, and I actually was surprised it's taking this long. But so she comes back, and I took some notes. This review is going to be a little bit longer because I took some notes. Production, I'm going to give production an A on this one. The only complaint I had with production was that very first commercial that you guys showed with the book from the lady who wrote the book about Phaedra Parks. I forget her name, Angela something, I believe. I couldn't hear. The sound was pretty bad, and I wanted to hear because I actually want to read the book. I read excerpts of the first book. I didn't read the whole thing, but I did read some excerpts. So I kind of want to read the book because this is sort of like the sequel follow-up after the court case and stuff that she couldn't really speak on before because of the court situation, but she could speak on now. So I think I might, that's Kindle downloadable. You know what I'm saying? I can put it on my Kindle, put it on my summer reading list. So for production, that's the only thing I really saw. Other than that, the sound was good. The props were good. When you had to put the video up, that whole skit that y'all did with Whitney Houston was wonderful. I loved it. Even when you had to pause it so Maddie could take her wig off and put the little turban on and all that good stuff with the please stand by. I thought that was great. Let me pull up my notes. So I thought that was really, really good. Maddie looked good. She came out, she did her intro. She danced and everything. Maddie looked good. That drink, again, that concoction that she be drinking, I don't know, girl, honey, I don't know how she does that, but she does. That was good. Her little, animal print dress with the afro, with the chain she had kind of gave you, spear action. Not spears, what I'm talking about, like teeth, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. When you see people kind of do the jungle thing or whatever. It was cute. Shekinah, I wouldn't know that you were a hairdresser, and I'm gonna stop, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. So like I already said, I love the skit you guys did with Whitney. Again, the topics I thought were really good. I like the transgender topic that you brought up because I hadn't heard that story. And you saw where this woman followed a transgender woman into the bathroom and was made a videotape about her using the bathroom and went and got the manager and embarrassed that woman. And, it was just crazy. And, that happened to Maddie. Maddie did it a live one time when she was on the beach and somebody called the police on her talking about it was a man in the bathroom. And so Maddie, she said, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. And she spoke on it, and I think she spoke well. I feel like she spoke well on the situation. And however you may feel about transgenders or people using the bathroom or, what bathroom they should use, what that woman did was still wrong. However you may feel, you don't follow somebody in the bathroom and the woman was in the stall and she trying to put the camera all under the stall and stuff. That's just not how we it's not how we should treat each other. If you really truly had a problem with her being in the bathroom, you wait for her to come out the bathroom and you have the manager address it. But again, if the law says that she can use whatever bathroom she wants to use, and that's just a law you're going to have to deal with and get used to. Because this took place in California, and she even mentioned on her video that that's the law in California, and it's a shame, but it's not illegal. Well, then if it's not illegal, leave her the fuck alone. And let her take a piss in peace. Anyway, I don't know what it is about these judges arguing with the jury. What Shekinah, Latavia got into it, Tim got into it, then Shekinah got into it. You arguing with the people that's in the basement. I don't get it. What? Maybe I'm missing stuff. Why y'all arguing why y'all sitting there arguing with each other? Because y'all disagree or because they said something you don't like. And one of the jury members said something about escape. Y'all know Shekinah's about to jump over that table. She was. She don't, it's a whole, you don't fuck with Tiny. Because at the beginning, she was saying how, she was like, you could tell she heard the criticism about her letting her personal friendships interfere with the show. And so she was like, I'm not friends with nobody today. I ain't nobody's friend today. Everybody's fair game. But Anybody who know anything about Shekinah know that everybody else might be fair game, but Tiny ain't never gonna be fair game. And I can, again, respect, that's your friend. But when that lady made a comment about Escape, Shekinah was like, who? What you say? Escape what? I do want to speak on this. When they brought up the New Edition piece, they were talking about how, New Edition just can't get along and what's the problem, what have you. And I really thought they were going to explain what the situation is. Make a long story short, the situation with the whole New Edition thing is Ralph and Johnny own the name New Edition, and they don't want to. I'm just going to make it real easy. They don't want to share the revenue with the rest of the guys in the group, which to me I think is just only fair. Like, you might own the name, maybe you were smart enough to go and get the name, and that's fine. I ain't mad at you. But if we all trying to be in a better place and we all trying to make that money with the success of the movie, and y'all trying to do the tour and everything, I just feel like y'all could have worked something out. And Johnny, your ass wasn't even there from the beginning, so the fuck. Like, I get the business piece of that, but damn, Johnny, you wasn't even, like, they brought you in. They did you a motherfucking favor. Now you holding the name hostage. So now we might be looking at a Temptation situation where you got 5 people touring the country calling themselves the Temptations. So I don't know. I grew up on New Edition. I love New Edition. Ronnie, baby. But that's some bullshit. Anyway, back to the Queen's Court. I said that Shekinah Joe was still very defensive about certain things. And again, my criticism is going to be the same as it was with Tim Bay. Some of the topics, she just didn't seem to know what they were talking about. Now, a couple of the topics, she knew more than they did. Like the one about the doctor. And she was telling them that the doctor was a dermatologist and that dermatologists can do, certain lipo procedures and stuff like that. Like, she was knowledgeable about that. But that's probably because she's had those things done at a dermatologist's office. But she did know that information. But then as they got into some of the other topics, again, she wasn't knowledgeable. My biggest criticism of Shekinah Joe is, and this is something that it's like nails on a chalkboard for me, she's one of those people that black people can do no good and white people do everything bad. And I don't, when they were talking about the Morgan Freeman thing, and before she even heard the evidence, before she even heard the story, it was, these women need to stop accusing these men and trying to do all this to these black men. They know they was just trying to get a movie role, and then she went to Bill Cosby and all this other stuff. And even once they show what the woman was accusing Morgan Freeman of, she's still talking about Morgan Freeman. They just want a movie role for Morgan Freeman. And I'm like, this woman was a 6-month pregnant reporter. She ain't trying to get no movie role for Morgan Freeman. And even though I'm not saying I agree or disagree with the woman's perception of what Morgan Freeman said to her, I just feel like, Shekinah, listen, like, you so stuck in everybody out to get the black man that you couldn't hear nothing. But then when it came to Harvey Weinstein, oh yeah, he guilty. But then she did kind of flip-flop on that too. But it just seemed like everything white is bad and then everything black is good, and that's just not how it is. And I don't like us making everything just a black and white issue and making it so simplistic. It's not always like that. And you can't just be like, oh well, he not guilty or he is guilty. Or I didn't like that. I just feel like we need to be a little and at least listen to the evidence. Like, it was like you just didn't hear anything. You just shut yourself down. You didn't want to hear nothing. And even when Maddie was trying to tell you and explain it to you, you just didn't want to hear none of it. So, let me finish up my notes. I think we're almost done with my notes, y'all. Okay. So my last little bit of note is, at the end, Shekinah took over the damn show. They were trying to talk about the Donda House situation, which just happened this weekend, which I was really curious to hear Maddie's take on it and what evidence Maddie had, because I was following it on Twitter, but I might have missed something, or maybe I didn't hear something. Shekinah starts talking about the little girl from last week, and she totally takes over the show and does like a whole 3 or 4 minute diatribe about white people taking black culture, but when black people take white culture, then it's all good. Again, she on that black and white thing, and she talking about the little girl from last week who pretended like she got all the money or whatever. And Maddie even told her, we did that last week, we done, we moving on, we dealing with Donda House. And she want to keep talking and keep going. And I was like, even Maddie was sitting there like, what the fuck? And then by the time she got done, Maddie was like, okay, what are we going to do about Donda House? And I'm like, we didn't even talk about it. Like, she totally hijacked that story, and we never got back to it. And I actually was interested in hearing what it had to say. So in conclusion, it was a good show from production point of view. It was a good show from the topics. There was some great topics. I talked about the Whitney Houston, Pusha T picture. You know, y'all talked about Rachel Dolezal. Like, it was some very good topics. I thought it kept my interest. I watched it from beginning to end. I didn't want to turn it off. I didn't want to fast forward through nothing. I thought it was really good. Shekinah, you did better than you did the first time. But I'm not gonna say that I don't think she should come back. Again, you could put her in the rotation, but I just think she needs to be really conscious of her personal biases of the whole black-white thing, because that, to me, that's a real sensitive situation. But overall, I would put her below Tokyo, but above LaToya Luckett. Do I think she should be put? I already said I think she should be put in the rotation. I do. I'd put her in the rotation, but again, because she was better this time, so maybe she'll take the notes, take the criticism, listen to what Maddie's telling her or what have you, and maybe she'll be better the next time. I don't think it should be next week. The other thing I wanted to touch on was this weekend Maddie uploaded a video, like a behind the scenes, and they're actually discussing whether they should pre-tape the shows. And Maddie was debating about, well, you know, my fans like doing it live. They like being able to be interactive with it, you know, but then the flip side is they could edit it so that we're not dealing with a lot of the issues that people have been complaining about. And two, it could be a more consistent show because Maddie's schedule is about to really get busy, and so we may end up missing weeks if we're waiting for her to do a live show, because we got to wait for her to be back in Atlanta and all that other stuff and line up, you know, guest judges and stuff. If she tapes them ahead of time, then she could just drop them on Monday night. Then we ain't got to worry about it being late either, because it'll drop at 10 o'clock, right? I personally feel like I think there should be a mixture. On the weeks when she can't be there and the weeks that she's out of town or she has to travel, pre-tape the show. If you're going to be in town, go ahead and do a live show. But again, I as a fan, I understand that you got other things going on and you got other hustles and you got other streams of income that you have to take care of. And so I'm cool with it. I'm cool with you just saying, hey, these, you know, the show on this day is pre-taped. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you just wouldn't be able to do the after show. So I don't think you lose a lot. I don't think you lose the after show piece. That wouldn't be live, and people can't call in. But I think it would be good. What y'all think? Drop it in the comments. Let me know. And last but not least, I don't know if you guys have been watching my videos on Chasing Atlanta, but T.S. Madison will be hosting the Chasing Atlanta reunion, and it's going to be live, but it's at 4 o'clock, so I'm not going to be able to watch it live because I'm going to be at work. But it'll be a live taping on June. Oh, shit. Is it June the 7th? I'll try to find a flyer and put it in the video. But yeah, so that's what I got this week. Y'all drop it in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Peace.